He's obviously got the brute strength and the ball.
Yeah.
And he's obviously very handsome. But with the help of PFF, he's built his stats game to a level where now he's calling games every Sunday.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, future first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the only members of the Bull Ring of Honor down there for the Houston Texans, former Walter Payton Man of the Year whenever he raised all the money for the city of Houston, Burnley owner, Espanol owner, J.J. Watt. If you could please elaborate on your PFF usage and thoughts, especially fresh out of a week where your brother got a lower ranking than Myles Garrett in a battle, in which there's a lot of legacy, a lot of conversation, a lot of tension, a lot of rivalry, a lot of everything between those two. So if you could break it down, your angle. Now, we haven't left a lot of meat on the bone with the things that we have said about PFF from a player's perspective. Now, Jage, I'm sure you have some ideas on what maybe hasn't been mentioned in this entire argument, but you have been an open, hey, we can't be putting the rankings on TV. This is not how this goes guy for a while now. Many other people are feeling empowered to maybe say it as well, or why do you think there is a little bit of a groundswell right now where people are going, we got to change how this goes if this is how it's going to continue to go?
Well, I think first things first, that conversation, the TJ Miles conversation, people want to take that and turn it into something different. I've had my issues with PFF for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
I was their number one rated player. I had over 100 score while I was playing. They had to change the system. They literally came to me and told me we had to change our system because of how you did it. So this isn't a guy who had bad grades who's disgruntled. I literally was their number one guy, and I still hate it. I have to start with this. PFF has a lot of very beneficial tools. They have things, D-Butt was just talking about it. They have things where you can break down plays by coverages, where you can cut down the film to, I just want to see runs to the right side under 5 yards. They have all this really good stuff that you can use. The number one issue with PFF, by far, bar none, hands down, is their player grading system and the fact that they project it everywhere, including nationally televised games on Sunday night where everybody's watching. And they make it underneath the rankings where it states as fact 91st out of 97th defensive tackles, 117 out of 117 offensive guard. And that is a completely made-up number. That is not like the coaches around the league and the players around the league. That is a guy or guys in the back room. I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot.
Oh, I like
Keep
that.
going.
Okay.
Keep going,
Hey,
Jay.
this is how you summon some change.
Exactly.
You got to get passionate.
Personal stories of Uber drivers telling NFL passengers that they break down film for PFF and that they watch the TV copy only and put a grade out after the game.
That Uber driver's
You can't watch film on the TV copy and create a grade. You can't break down a person's grade and know what they're supposed to do if you don't know their exact assignment. Like D-Butt just said, I know defensive line play unbelievably well. I could not go and grade a game for a player and give him a definitive grade without speaking to him, his coach, the scheme, everything. It's just a fact. PFF has a ton of great stuff. Player grading sucks. Stop putting it out.
Hell yeah!
Attaboy, Jay. Well done, Jay. Well done.
Jage. He broke the system.
He did.
This guy broke the system. And now he's raging against it, And he's saying, hey, this ain't right. You guys might have liked me, but I got teammates that you were misjudging in this entire thing. And Jage, I think that's right. We talked about this too. Like when PFF was trying to make like a name for itself in the stats world, because there's a lot of stats coming. Stats everywhere. They were coming. We're coming for your sport, bro. Mm-hmm. We got a whole new area to do it. And I would like to say, as football guys and football people, we're pretty open to it, I think. I think we were pretty open to the stats at the beginning. We're saying a lot of it was bullshit, but listen, there's some very beneficial things. I think this is good stuff. Whenever the coaches started making only their decisions for this entire thing and changing it all, I think we, kind of started judging them a little bit more harshly for not having a feel or a gut feel or an instinct or anything like that. But PFF became the one because of I don't want to say the hot takes, but basically the hot takes. I think they're at the stage now where they don't have to do that anymore, right? Which is kind of what you're saying. Like, hey, you got a lot of other good shit that would be a sustainable business, I think, for a lot of football people. I think you guys have found what you guys could be and could be a real asset for. So just doing the trolling holier than thou, we know everything shit is just stupid at this stage, I think is what you're saying. And a lot of us are saying, right? I think you were even saying earlier. It's like you have great benefits for the football world within what you guys have, especially with all the information that you've garnered, with the platform that you have, with where you're at. So it's like, let's go ahead and utilize that. And let's make football better. Team on me.
Yes.
Jage, any final thoughts here? This is kind of your thing here. This is kind of your run.
I'll hold my tongue.
No.
Well said.
Team on three. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
All right, let's move along. Other things that need to stop. We need to have great turf everywhere football's happening. Okay? I can't take it anymore. We're in 2025. We got super scientists. I watched How long ago? They were growing tree in their dorm room. This one make you smarter. This one make you happier. This one will do this. The green thumbs of people these days, okay, higher than it's ever been. They're growing everything everywhere. And somehow we can't get good turf in these NFL stadiums. Now, obviously there's some places that are fantastic. Pittsburgh, the artist formerly known as Heinz Field, now Acrisure, has been notoriously terrible, with obviously stories of them spray painting dirt and mud green so that on TV it appears as if it is grass, but it's even worse. Then a situation like this happens with one of the best kickers in the history of the NFL, one of the most surefire kickers in the NFL. He's on your team, and obviously the entire turf rolls up on top of his foot. Could have rolled his ankle, could have sprained it. Instead, Acrisure Field said, don't worry about it. You won't roll it because you have to get stuck. We're just going to slide right underneath the ball. Obviously, he doesn't hit a clean ball there. So whenever you see this type of shit, Jage, what are your thoughts? I don't know where you were on the hashtag change the turf. Is that what it was? I don't remember what the hashtag was whenever it was like turf versus grass. You've been on the record saying to us, like, hey, I've gone to some of these soccer games where they put the grass on top of the turf. That shit's not the greatest either. What are your thoughts on what's going on in Pittsburgh? And what are your thoughts on the turf thing kind of as a whole in the NFL that kind of we revisit every, I don't know, 15 months or so?
Yeah, I mean, my first thought, because you could tell that this field was deteriorating throughout the course of the game. We were there, we were calling the game, and you could tell, and we had stuff ready because we thought that something might happen like this, just witnessing it. And my first thought was, well, this is an anti-turf or anti-natural grass argument because you obviously have the whole turf argument going. But I also know that the Steelers, they had already planned to switch the field out after this game. I think they switched it out 3 times throughout the season. But I think Tone's touched on it before, many people have. This is what happens when you have natural grass that far north and you have Pitt playing on it in addition to the Steelers playing on it. I completely understand that the Steelers don't own the field and everything, but like, this is a multi-billion-dollar business here, and these are the assets of the business. And I understand everything that goes into everything, but that had a chance to hyperextend his knee in a very bad way. We saw Miles Kilbrew go down earlier. You don't know if that's directly correlated to that or not. But at the end of the day, I think players still would prefer that their foot slide like that to give them a chance versus the turf where it gets stuck. But that field was really, really bad, and it's very rare you see players like Aaron Rodgers and Cam Hayward come out and just blast their own home field the way that they did after the game.
See, Aaron Rodgers obviously knew there, thinking to himself, probably with how high he has held the Pittsburgh Steelers in his mind. So the way Aaron has always talked about the Steelers, Pittsburgh, everything has always been like in very high regards. Like McCarthy being his coach in Green Bay, and McCarthy still, you know, he's got pictures of Greenfield behind him in his office. Like, Aaron knows Pittsburgh's been around Pittsburgh, has always held the Steelers in high regard. It's AFC Green Bay Packers is basically how he's always talked about the Steelers. So I assume whenever he gets on that field and it's like that, he's like, this is not like what.
Lambeau's immaculate.
Like he's probably mind blown, I think, but also saying like, this is not how it's supposed to be. You guys are like this is the franchise. This is not how this is supposed to go. And I saw a lot of people, Tone Diggs included, talk about the pit field. And Ben Roethlisberger said on football in the same exact thing. He said they need to build like a 35,000 stadium. Person stadium in Oakland a little bit. Going to be tough to find that room, I think, in the city. It's going to be difficult to do that. But a lot of people have been saying get Pitt their own stadium, even though the city owns it. And then a lot of Pitt people are saying we didn't have a game for like 8 days before that. So why are we? What are we? What we do? We don't even play in there. Let's go to Hammer. Don. Tone, you've been taking it on the shins pretty good. I think a 48-year-old in Robinson went after you pretty good, and then obviously that spurred some other conversations around Pittsburgh. But then Ben Roethlisberger comes out and kind of echoes your sentiment. You're not the only one. How do you feel right now about what is possible for the future of the city of Pittsburgh with their stadium set up? And how are the shins after the 15,000, 20,000 people that go to every game took out their broomsticks and hit you on the shins?
Yeah, I fired off that original tweet that Foxy put up in the moment there. And Pitt has always been the easy target as far as firing shots at the field. Yes, I know they lease it with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Neither of those places own it. And then I did fire off some other tweets after that, after I started getting attacked, because I am not really good at, just letting it go and not going cutthroat at places. So, yeah, they got upset. The shins took it quite a bit. That's fine. That's going to happen or whatever. All I want is, yes, I know it's north of the Mason-Dixon line and they share it together. But, there's other places that share fields with college football teams. I believe the Eagles do it and others. And their grass is fine. I'm really just frustrated. Figure it out. Because if Boz would have got hurt there, that's an absolute disaster. And in that city, I just hope everyone realizes what the pecking order is, and it's Pittsburgh Steelers, and then it's everybody else. So if it's going to help the Pittsburgh Steelers, yeah, I think you should only play Steelers games.
On that note, I think some Pitt fans really turned heel thinking that they were more important than the Steelers on the internet. I saw some of that. So they kind of worked themselves into a shoot, brother. So they kind of went into a circle. But I think all we all want is just a perfect setting and environment for great football.
Is this not the NFL?
Is this not the highest level?
It's pinnacle.
Okay, you're talking about Boswell getting hurt. TJ's making $40-some million a year. Myles Garrett's making $40-some million a year. If Aaron Rodgers, first ballot Hall of Famer, if any of those guys get hurt because of the bullshit, that story is obviously magnified. Boswell having that happen, it's a kicker. That's one of the greatest of all time right there. That kicker Boswell is one of the greatest of all time.
There weren't people putting Pitt up ahead of the Steelers.
They were acting like it, bro. They were acting like it.
Yeah. I mean, I've turned down a few Pitt games in my day and seen those yellow seats, all right?
Screaming! They're screaming at you through the screen.
Nothing wrong with the good program, great history. I've turned on those games, and I've seen the yellow seats.
Yeah, you can hear the yellow seats with your eyes because it's in the quad box, and it's just like the whole thing. I've heard people even describe it as those yellow seats are spitting through the screen because they're so loud. Like if it was black seats or something like that, or blue seats, I think it would just kind of blend in. The fact that it's yellow, it's like we see everyone. Like we see it all. And I'm not saying that Pitt doesn't have their diehard fans of the University of Pittsburgh. I think people would die for the University of Pittsburgh.
They got them.
There is Pitt. There are those types of people. Now, I do think not a lot of them have the opportunity to go to the football games, though, because we all, just like Jade said, we all have eyes. We watch the game. But now, if that field's perfect, nobody cares about anything. So let's figure out the grass.
Exactly.
Let's figure out the grass. Why doesn't your dad go down there and figure out the grass? How's he on a lawnmower? He's got a Z-turn down there? Ooh. We got to make this thing go ahead and tie in.
He should, because he hates Pitt as much as he loves the Steelers.
All right. Let's go to the next conversation. Speaking of injuries, I don't know what I'm talking about. We had 4 very serious injuries in the Indianapolis Colts game, one including a neck on a special teams return, where I believe the guy got released from the hospital later in the night, so we're very thankful for that. That was scary in real time. But obviously, Mooney getting hurt in a pregame warm-up. Anthony Richardson gets hurt doing a band exercise. And then Marvin Harrison got concussed right in front. I mean, there's a lot of injuries.
What are you guys doing pregame in Indianapolis? What is going on pregame in Indianapolis?
Good question.
We don't know. We're winning. I know that. But I think we should dial it back a little bit because we can still win without losing guys in the pregame warm-up as they're running little snake.
Oh, my
Too locked in.
Man.
It looked like he put a shoulder into him. Like I don't really understand that right there.
No, he was in the middle of doing his thing.
Try to avoid him last second.
Come on,
he was doing his thing. No,
shoulder
yeah,
bump
right.
there.
Our team's tight, bro. Don't think about that. Don't talk about that. He was
Boom.
he felt terrible about it as well. So What's that? He's
Yeah,
moving.
he tried to scoot out of the way.
Yeah.
He slid his butt a little bit out to the side. I got the Colts this weekend. I'm gonna be watching those pregame warm-ups close.
Okay.
Gonna see what's going on out there.
Thanks for keeping an eye on it, Jage. We need you to do that. We need you to keep an eye on it.
On the pregame warm-ups for you.
On that note, what was your routine? Did you do pre-workout warm-up?
Yeah, I did the pre, but I did it way too hard early in my career. So I learned to back the pre down and ramp up the pre.
You were doing
you do the pre, you get too excited.
Do you remember what he became in the pre? J.J. Watt's playing catch with every kid in the city.
Yep.
You remember that? When did you start doing it? Did you do that to save yourself from running all over the field? So you didn't wear yourself out there? Like, I need to do something, but I can't just run my life away here on the field? Is that how that started? How did you start that?
It actually was a nice little warm-up. But no, I started because so I grew up in Wisconsin, Green Bay Packers fan growing up. And I went to training camp literally one time. They have open training camp. And I remember going to the players' parking lot after and standing outside the fence, and I had literally a white T-shirt, and I threw it over and hoping somebody signed it. Didn't even know who it was, probably a practice squad guy or somebody. Signed it and threw it back to me, and I was like, that was the coolest thing of all time. And so in the NFL, I always try to find like that thing where some kid is going to a game for the first time ever and is going to have a memory of that day. How can you make that memory a special one? But you have to keep it rolling. I couldn't sign autographs for everybody before the game, so I was like, I'll play catch. Like, it takes 1 second for each person, and I can hit a shitload of people as I go around the stadium. So I just make one quick lap before I went in and played catch with as many kids as possible.
I thought it was good for the game, what you did. I thought it was good for the game. I like the fact that in every city, they were catching it and throwing it back to you. You know, like some of those places, you throw it into the stands and they hate you. They're taking that thing, throwing it backwards, out of the stadium. You know, so the fact that they didn't do that, I think that was the tip of the cap to you as a person. But that pre-workout that you were talking about losing your mind during, it's organized chaos out there. I don't know how more injuries don't happen. After seeing this, and it was my mom actually had eyes on it. My mom was already at the game, and she sent a text to the group or to me, and then D-Bone was at the game as well, sent a picture, and my mom was like, somebody just got really hurt in warm-ups or whatever, and it was like, how? It's 2 hours. How is there anything happening? And we learned it's one of our guys. And guess what happens,
I feel like
JJ?
it's DBs, because you're going backwards, and those, like the punt returners, where they're like, you don't know where that ball's going, you don't know what's going on. Like, those are the two, to me, that are the ones that have the biggest chance of getting hurt, and clearly here was one of them. D-Butt, did you participate in this? Did you have to like clear out 30 yards of space?
Yeah, you just kind of know, and the person throwing the ball to you is kind of responsible too, in my opinion, because obviously they're leading you either right or left. But you usually take a peek back. You're not just out there just blind. Depending on what time, depending on if it's home or away, you will have, the time and you will go out there and warm up. But you knew you're kind of area of the field that will be safe. It looks like Acrisure was kind of coming kind of out of nowhere off the sideline, but once again, like those, I don't know if they're coaches or trainers or what they were, but they got to be responsible too, because you don't want guys getting hurt in warm-ups. Just like in practice when shit's on the sidelines, like, that one time, first, second day of training camp is maybe a loose helmet or a loose pad on the sideline. You can't let, your big-time corner get hurt pregame.
And there's no, designated places for people, but there's, unwritten rules. It's like it's a very interesting dynamic. And all I know is kickers and punters, we are lowest on the pecking order. So if we find some space, we definitely use it, okay? If you're Justin Tucker and Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes coming around, you just go ahead and get those balls away from their feet, because just like that to be known. Like, that's where kickers, punters stand from. But we need that. That's when we need that field. Because for punters,
were you ever the guy that went out and in between the cheerleaders was practicing, right before the kickoff or after halftime?
No, I thought if you got in the middle of there, okay, you were really trying to work on something. For me, I thought mentally we could get some work done on the side. Definitely hitting while things are happening, though, at the halftime show. There was some preseason game where it had to be, I was punting in it, I forget what year it was, but the other team's backup punter, okay, so because you got preseason, you got backup punters.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Guy, I think he hit somebody that was in in the
halftime show.
In the thing, yeah. I got called in, asked about if I saw what happened, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, no.
I was like, I did see what happened, yeah. In that
Who called you in?
Because it was at our stadium, and the email that got sent was from a parent. It was like a band contest or something happening in the city or something.
High school band deal.
Yeah, it was like a big deal. And the person that sent in the email was like, talked about how hard everybody on that band field worked to get to that moment, and everything that was put into that, and the sacrifice, like really laid it in. I mean, it was, I was told to read it. Why did I get this? Is what I was told. And I was like, oh, I saw it. Yeah, it was not good. Yeah, it was a shank completely. Like, because in those moments, you can't be shanking into the, because if you're kicking, you know, like I've done a punt, you know, halftime show, big halftime show, and it's like you're really rolling the dice every time. You know, it's like that's real pressure there. Let's see if we got. Okay, let's not hit a shank left right now and just take somebody off the thing. But you got to get your work in, too. Like, I'm trying to do my job, too. Like, I got to do my shit.
You actually broke my finger pregame. I just remembered.
Well, that's on you, brother. That ball was coming down from the clouds.
Right here, you zoom in right there. Just.
What, that's me?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's you.
No.
Yep.
What happened? Middle finger, too? That's a good one, though. If I was getting any of them, I'm happy it's the middle
Somebody
finger.
think backup punt return either went down or was inactive. So, Mitt's dad came up to me and was like, hey, gonna need you today, just back up punt return. You know, have you done it? No, never kick returner, but sure, I got out there and catch a couple. Yeah. Game. It's tough, man. I think it was before Rams.
The game they killed us?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That might have been did you have the halftime, like military?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
That was a rough day. Yeah.
Chris Long.
I was bombing the ball, though, man. That one, Tavon Austin took one back 98 that game. That was a perfect punt. Just Tavon Austin takes it to the crib.
I bet karma for breaking my finger.
You broke your finger?
Yep.
I didn't break your finger. That's on you, brother.
That's you.
What? You think you were top 6, probably, right? Hands on the team?
I was 2. I between
2?
2 and 3.
Yeah,
we had
right.
Reggie.
Go on.
Then probably me and Ty. Probably not coming. Then you were probably 4, 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
JJ, you know what that's JJ, okay? Shane Leckler, hands on the team. What do you think his hands were? You think they were top 3, top 5?
No.
Catches the ball every time he goes on the field. Every single time he goes on the field, he catches the ball.
Yeah, we had John Weeks tossing it back there. It was put exactly where he wanted it. The laces right where he wanted every single time.
Weeksy was an animal. Weeksy's this tall. Weeksy is
still playing San Fran.
Still
right?
doing it.
Yeah.
It's out there in San Fran.
Maybe, 20? How many years is this? It's got to be.
It's a lot.
Jeez. He was unbelievable.
Incredible.
He's so small.
I cannot believe that those guys can snap the ball 14 yards and still decide how many rotations to get the laces up. That blows my mind.
That's unbelievable if Weeks can do that. I don't think there's a lot of people that,
Your guy could.
I had a couple of different snappers that were very good. Matt Overton snapped for a very long time. He was incredible. He was good with laces on field goal.
Who was before?
Justin Snow is his name. So he actually named his kid Hunter, okay? The punter that was here for 11 years before me, his name, Hunter. So the long snapper and the previous punter, besties. We're talking best friends. And Hunter the punter was beloved in Indianapolis. He was a very good man. He's I believe he's a religious singer. He has
Christian rock.
He's a Christian rock band singer. Of
course.
Very athletic. Went to Notre Dame, I believe. I mean, you're talking about beloved here in town. And then this dumbass gets drafted in here, just complete opposite of this guy. I mean, it's just complete opposite of this human being. I get a public intoxication, obviously, my second year. Hunter the punter, yeah, right. This guy, literally Notre Dame, Christian singer, beloved in the community. We're talking about going to hospitals every single day, like Mother Teresa type stuff, this guy. The long snapper names his kid after him. He's like, where was the snap? And I'm like, I blacked out. I don't know. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where it's. I don't remember. Sorry. I just kind of go out there and do my thing. It must have been good, I guess, because it was a good punt. I don't even know. So that guy hated me for a while. But then we became best friends. He was really good. Strong, handsome guy. Long snappers are an interesting job. 2 mistakes, you're fired.
Yeah.
All the time, just looming.
Yep.
2 mistakes, you're fired. Weeks still doing it is incredible. Speaking of still doing it, 2 old guys are battling in the AFC North. Kind of unexpected matchup here, but obviously going to be a great one. Go ahead, Con, man.
Yeah, Jay's 2025, it feels like 2015. What are you thinking about the Rodgers-Flaccos? I believe someone, might have been Cam Hayward, dubbed it the Icy Hot Bowl during Rodgers' press conference yesterday. What are you thinking about tomorrow night?
All right, Harry Potter over there asking questions. Love to see it. I think it's going to be interesting. Short week. Last week we had the Steelers, and coming off a bye, Mike Tomlin's 14-4 against rookie quarterbacks. Mike Tomlin's 26-6. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, his Thursday night record, specifically against divisional opponents, is not very strong.
0-6.
Is it really? 0-6.
Yeah, 0-6 on the road very strong in the division.
Jeez.
Yeah, that fits that category. But I know Trey Hendrickson's possibly out here. Broderick Jones played a really good game this past week with a very difficult assignment in Myles Garrett. The Steelers just know who they are right now. You can tell that they know how they have to play these games and win these games. They're going with this XL personnel on offense with Spencer Anderson stepping in, Darnell Washington, and they just block well, run the ball, and then set up these throws where Aaron's taken a ton of underneath throws, and then every couple times throughout the game, he takes those deep shots. That throw to Connor Hayward was vintage Aaron Rodgers. He's got the DK throws. He missed one super deep one to DK where DK had burned the corner. So they just know who they are and how they have to win games right now, and their defense has finally started to figure it out after the first 2 games where they struggled. But we all know how it is. Going on the road is tough on Thursday night, even if it is close like Cincinnati.
The Cincinnati offensive line, it feels like this is a short week, and you're not sleeping much knowing what's coming on the other side and how you have performed thus far. Joey Flacco, though, can get that ball out quick. PFF said it. Sometimes quarterback can have a scheme that's so much better than everybody on defense, even if they're winning their assignments.
Yeah.
Because their assignment could be go left, and that's assignment. Check the box. 100% on assignment. Ain't that right?
I mean, Joey Flacco, the Browns have not scored over 17 points in 11 straight games. Joey Flacco goes to the Cincinnati Bengals, scores 18 points in the first game. Like he's like the throwing of the. We're calling that game, and going into the game, both teams all week long had said Quinshawn Judkins is the key to this game. He's a dynamic runner, really can do everything, explosive, will run people over. And then they throw the ball 58 times. I think they got sacked on 6 of them, so it looked like 52. But they just didn't get the run game going at any point. You can't abandon the run. This game wasn't really out of reach until like the fourth quarter. I mean, maybe end of the third, but they just were chucking the ball all over the yard. And yes, I know there wasn't a lot of success in the run game early, but for them to be successful, specifically with a rookie quarterback, you have to try and get that run game going, and they could not do it.
It feels like everybody has to get the run game going. It's 2025 football in the NFL. Yep. There's 2 teams at the top, though, right now. Okay, I don't know if you know this, Jade. There's 2 teams that are 5-1. Pittsburgh Steelers 4-1, early bye week. They might become 5-1, but there's currently 2 teams 5-1. Representing the AFC, the Indianapolis Colts, of course. Yeah. Okay, everybody knew that's how that was going to be. Whenever you forecasted the season and training camp after week 6, the Indianapolis Colts going to be the #1 seed in the AFC. Give us the Hunt Trophy. Go ahead and just give us the Hunt Trophy. It's great to be here, Jage. By the way, thank you for asking. Indianapolis fans are very happy about how we're playing. In every mic'd up thing that gets released, we're a cool team too. So I mean, everything's going good here.
Good. I love the Daniel Jones mic'd up. That was great.
Which one? The one where he's talking?
Which one do you like better?
I like both. At first I saw the one where he wasn't talking. That was great. And then I saw the one where he's talking. We have them this week. I'm very excited. I haven't been able to watch much of them. So this week, watching the film, I was really looking forward to seeing what the Colts look like. And I've had this thing in my head where it's like Danny Dimes is managing the game. He's just taking what's given to him. And then I flip on the film.
Yeah, right.
And he fires this dart into Alec Pierce in the red zone between 3 dudes. And I'm like, he is not just managing the game. He is firing.
Hey, brother. Watch that Broncos game, dude. They blitz him like 73% of the time or something like that. You're talking about moving into pocket, eyes downfield, and throwing seeds. Every ball is a good ball. Every ball is the right decision. It's like, remember the string that they won on at the beginning of the season when no turnovers and just touchdowns, basically. They didn't punt for like 3 weeks. I mean, it has been very good very early with Shane Steichen's offense and Danny Dimes. And my source says, tell me that Danny Dimes lives in the building. He is in the building. He's a 5 a.m.er. So he's in there 5 a.m., and then he stays till the end. He's trying to build relationships with everybody. Obviously, he's only on a 1-year deal with us. But everything you want from a lead quarterback, he has been. And I think if you ask the people in Indianapolis, they're like, we got to go back and watch the film of him at the Giants. What we need to see if there was, is this the same guy that was at the Giants? Because they believe that he is the perfect guy. Like, everything that was said about him, there were people on his side coming out of the draft. Like, hey, this guy worked with Manning's people. He's more athletic. He's smarter. He's tougher. He can run faster. Yeah, all those things. He's doing right now at his highest level. And I think the Colts people are like, we got so lucky that it did not work at the other places. Shit. And we're riding that wave. On that note, there's a team down in Florida that's riding a wave of a guy who didn't work in a couple other places as well. Go ahead, AQ.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's 5-1. They started the season without Tristan Wirfs and Cody Mock, the right guard. Then they lose Gadecki. Then they lose all of their receivers. Bucky Irving's out. Chris Godwin comes back, then he's back out, right? Baker Mayfield has been incredible. How is he able to keep this team afloat?
I love that.
I mean, like, his skills are underrated. I think we put so much on his moxie and his persona and everything that he has from that standpoint that his arm is great. Obviously, his ability to read the defense, to break him down, but his ability to escape and to run and to just do whatever it takes. And then once you add on the fact that he's just never dead at any point in any game, and he has this, like, standing in the tunnel against Seattle is such a great visual of him and who he is. And when you have a guy like that slinging it in your backfield, you just believe in yourself more. The defense believes in themselves more, where they say, if we get one stop here and give it to him, he's going to take us down the field and win the game. The receivers are catching balls that they might not have caught before. O-linemen are blocking a little bit longer and getting that extra little push. There's just that is very, very real. And I think it's such a cool aspect to his story, what he had to go through in the middle. And obviously you wouldn't want to have to go through those Panthers years and all that stuff again. But to see what he's playing like now after people wrote him off a few times, guy's a baller. It's awesome.
You think he's pre-workout guy? Ooh. Before game and halftime?
He does seem like he could be, but then if you also told me, like, no, he's just like
raw dogging
mental
it out there,
pre-workout guy. Yeah, I could see that.
Salt's big time. He's definitely playing with Zin in too.
Okay, yeah, which has to that's Baker Mayfield experience.
Yeah. Like, he feels like he's drinking beer in the parking lot with the O-line. Like, that's the type of guy he feels like.
He feels like Gus Swayze, the video that the Buccaneers re-put out of him being dressed up as a super fan in one of the workouts, fantasy camps, and throwing it. That is how he plays, which I think is why he's so beloved down there. I'm so happy it is working for them. I can't wait until they have their full fleet. Now, you aren't a full season into it yet, but you've been doing a great job calling games. D-Bud has a question for you, JJ.
Yeah, JJ, going into week 7 now with your new gig in the booth every week. Like, how's it been? What's kind of been the biggest, I guess, challenges, biggest surprises so far in the year for you?
Yeah, it's I love it, man. It's so much fun because you're in the stadium, you get the adrenaline, you have no idea what's going to happen on the field, and you're just reacting live. Probably the biggest changes for me have been preparation during the week, just learning what I need to know and what I don't need to know. Early on, it was an unbelievable amount of information on my boards, and I learned that, like, some of the stuff was not relevant and I didn't need it, and I've transitioned to adding more stuff that is actually useful during the game. But
smart,
being able to see trends, being able to see how teams attack certain things, and as a player, you attack the week and you're watching one side of one opponent. I'm only watching the offense of the other team, generally mainly the offensive line, and just figuring out how I have to attack them. For this, I have to watch both sides of both teams. So it's a lot more global view of the game and trying to figure out all these different aspects and how they play together, and then making sure you explain to the viewers in a way that's comprehensible to them. This last game, there were some really good examples. Dylan Gabriel had thrown a couple balls over the middle that were caught, but his guys took big hits. And then they started to be looking at the safety instead of looking back at the ball, and they dropped a couple because of that. And we had some really good shots, and I thought that was a really cool thing to kind of be able to show and talk about on the broadcast.
Yeah, that's great. Anything that, you can show that people don't normally see is a good thing. But also, you got to talk about what we're seeing. some of these booths become super experts and talk about stuff that's like super niche. And it's like, how many people understand what the hell you're talking about? I think you do a great job of dumbing it down while making it great. And it might be because it's just who you are and where you come from. On that note, Ty has the last question for you.
Yeah, JJ, look, I know you're a big-time entrepreneur, okay? You own multiple soccer teams. I saw a report on the internet. I don't know if this is true, but it basically just said, hey, if Luke Fickell is to get fired at Wisconsin, J.J. Watt has already said, I will throw my hat in the ring. I will go back to Madison, and I will help restore the Badgers to glory. Is there any truth to that, and can we be expecting that? Because AQ already said, hey, listen, I want to go coach at Penn State.
Whoa, did he?
Yeah, this morning.
Wow, did he?
Yeah, this morning he said that.
Yep. Several times.
I mean, what James Franklin was getting paid, I think anyone would take that job.
Okay, that's not the. We wish James Franklin his best. On that note, Jage, you own Burnley, you own Espanol. College is like professional sports now. Have you thought about dabbling? Maybe Penn State even?
The life of a college football coach has absolutely no appeal whatsoever to me. I like coaching football, like just the pure on the field, excellent, like helping guys be better at what they do and create the best they can. But then you add in all the meetings, you add in all the hours, and you add in recruiting and the traveling and having to go to these 17-year-old kids and be like, hey, you're the greatest in the world, come to our university. Then you add in the NIL and the boosters and people coming at you after the game. You didn't cover the spread. What's going on? Like, I don't want to deal with any of that shit, man. You could pay me $50 million, and I don't want to go and do that.
That's J.J. Watt, living legend, saying there's no dollar amount on freedom and happiness. So go ahead and find yours. Our happiness comes from talking to you every week. You're the man.